anyone can do an oil and filter change, but it's looking into it and doing a quality job that is why people come to you. But yeah.
Honestly, I've had to like.
Let's go down.
Good to go? All right.
Yeah.
Let's head. So we're heading up to Peakhurst Tyre Mechanical. So they're a local mechanic and tyre supplier of ours for all of our branches. Number one, because we want to keep all the business in the community. But number two, logistically, it makes it so much easier. And we can establish really good relationships with local suppliers. I mean, we started as a local business ourselves. So we started with one vehicle, literally like around the corner here. And obviously now we've expanded. We want to kind of maintain that local supplier relationship. Peakhurst Tyre Mechanical service a lot of our vehicles. They provide replacement tyres as well for us. And they're literally just up the road. It's like, what, 5-minute walk from where we are. We're seeing Andre, and he's going to give us a bit of a rundown of like how they actually go through the process of servicing. Might cross over here. It's also scorching hot today. Can walk past the strict no walking rule. I don't think we've actually met in person before, have we? I mean, you're up at our site all the time. We started around in Lorraine Street.
Oh yeah.
There's like a business park around there, and we had like this tiny little office, and bought one Hilux and
Went from there.
went from there basically. So
Properly.
well, thank you for servicing all our cars. So this is the one.
Yeah.
Do you want to run us through like the process and everything?
Normally we'd bring the car in and we'd start off with a light check.
Yep.
After that, we're checking the wipers and things, and then we move on to the inspection of the engine bay. So as you can see, this one's seen a bit of use either on dirt roads or off-roading or whatever. We grab our lights and use our eyes and ears. If you hear like a belt squealing, for example, if there's any cracking in them, check the coolant reservoir.
Yep.
Coolant doesn't look muddy or dirty. It's still got a nice green color to it. We go and we check the air filters as well. So you take open the air box and you check it. You can see this one, it's a little bit dirty. Probably seen better days.
Yeah.
As part of the 45,000k service, this one's actually getting replaced today.
Yeah, okay.
You can see we've got all the parts ready to go.
Is 45 major service?
Not a major service, but it is one that involves doing the air filter, the fuel filter, and then your usual oil and filter change on the engine. Because all the vehicles are quite stringently serviced, we don't have the vehicles come in with anything often broken or damaged. Sure. You guys are pretty good at making sure they come in bang on the mark. So we've got the air filter here, and because we're going to be swapping it out today anyway, get our new one out of the box, and you can see the difference, night and day difference, honestly.
Massively.
We'll chuck this in. The batteries, there's two checks we do. So this one has these caps on the top. And what that's for is, you can see this minimum, maximum marking on here. The battery acid does deteriorate and go down over time. So we have a battery tester that we test the battery, but we also take these caps off and top up the battery level with distilled water. If it doesn't get topped up, then these batteries will deteriorate faster and have to be replaced. So we make sure to keep on top of that just to get the maximum life out of the battery that we can. Being that the car's only got 45,000 Ks, everything should be good, but we check anyway just in case something has happened. Our first check is for the wheel bearings. So if there's any play this way, it means the wheel bearing is beginning to wear out.
Right.
And in the most extreme circumstances, if the wheel bearing gets worse, it will just collapse and your wheel will just tilt in and you'll be stranded. The second test, swaying the wheel left to right, checks if there's any movement in the steering. So if your steering rack has got mounts that are bad, if the tie rods, which are the arms that connect on the inside, which I'll show you guys once the car's up, if the ball joints there have got play. In here you can also check, see if the tires are wearing evenly, which these ones, they're pretty good. There's always going to be a bit of uneven wear depending on
Yeah.
how people load up the utes, if there's more weight left to right or whatever. And then we also check things like the shock absorbers. So in here, you can see the shock absorber.
Yeah.
If there's any oil or damage from, I don't know, maybe someone's gone a bit too rough over a speed bump or a curb on a job site.
Yep.
If there's any oil there, we'll note it down and make sure that that's, given that attention and fixed or replaced. We spin them,
Yep.
see if there's any noise from the wheel bearings or if the handbrake is jammed on or anything like that. Maybe
Yep.
mud's got into the drum and it's not spinning the best. We'll also check the spare, do the tire pressure on it.
Yep.
Make sure that if something does happen to one of the main wheels, they've got a usable spare that isn't
Yeah.
deflated and,
Yeah.
no point in
Unusable,
carrying that
yeah.
around. A couple more checks that we do. So this is the tail shaft of the vehicle. You've got what's called a center bearing here. Make sure that there's no play.
Yep.
And then these joints, they're called universal joints. So we'll check, make sure that there's no movement in here.
Yep.
If there is, the driver of the vehicle is going to probably complain about vibrations from the car at highway speeds. Under here, we've got the drum brakes. Something that commonly happens with higher mileage vehicles is the differential seals will begin to leak and contaminate the drum.
Yeah,
When that
okay.
happens, because braking is a friction-based process,
Yep.
if you've got oil,
Yeah.
you're not going to have brakes.
For sure.
So these look good. These are completely dry.
And so you'll see that. You'll see it coming out.
In extreme circumstances, you'll see this will all be covered in oil.
Are drum brakes more expensive to maintain than brake calipers?
In the long run, I think that the drum brakes are more cost effective. If you've got a really good driver that's not aggressive on the brakes, you might get 100,000 kilometers out of the drum.
Wow.
We've got the exhaust.
Yep.
If it's a seaside car or somewhere that goes to the snow and they salt the roads, you might find that the exhaust is rusted out. So
Sure. Yep.
just a quick, thump of the muffler, make sure that there's no rust in there.
Yeah.
We've got the transmission.
Yep.
Make sure that there's no leaks. This one seems to have a little bit of a weep,
Sure.
but being that we're getting into summer, a weep isn't a cause for concern.
Sure.
So we'll keep an eye on that. We'll note that down, and
Yep.
on the next service, if we notice that it's gotten worse, or
Yep.
now there's oil all under here,
okay.
we've got to send the car in for warranty and get the seal replaced. Make sure that the transmission pan, this is all dry, so that's great.
Yep.
Means that we don't have any leaks. We also have the AC drain tube. You can see water's been coming out of that, so that's good. That means that the drain tube for the AC system hasn't clogged up.
Sure, yeah.
And we're not going to have the condensation build up inside the cabin
Yep.
and then dump water inside. Still something good to check. If you notice a puddle of water under the car from the AC system, everything's working fine.
I used to have a Ford XR6 Ute and I had that issue.
Yeah.
And it would just leak straight into the into the passenger side.
You learn over time common issues with different cars and
Yep.
what can cause problems. And then I've taken the vehicle checklist
Yep.
from one of the main dealers, and then I've modified it and added things that I think should be added. Anyone can do an oil and filter change, but it's looking into it and doing a quality job that is why people come to you.
Definitely.
So
Definitely.
that's what's important to us as a business. So these are brake calipers. We've got measuring tools to measure the brake pad thickness. We'll note that down. So if, say, this service they were at 6 mil, which is a pretty new pad, we'd say that's maybe 80 to even 90% still remaining. In the next service, after 15,000 Ks, it's down to 2 mil.
Yep.
That's a problem. Either the customer's being really heavy on the brakes, or we got a sticking brake caliper, and we need to look into that and make sure that, if this side was 6 and this side is 2, then this side's probably seized or is going to seize.
Right,
So
okay.
we'll get that looked into.
Sure.
We've got the steering rack up here.
Yep.
So there's a sort of like a ball joint inside there, which is what we were checking earlier.
Yep.
And then we've also got the ball joint here on this side, which we also check when we do our left-right movements. Yeah, the shock absorber up there, and then we've also got the brake hoses. So yeah, this is the the underside of our engine. And same thing here, we're always checking for leaks, making sure that there's no damage. Right underneath the bash tray is the electronic components for the steering rack.
Yep.
So you also want to make sure that hasn't been an underside hit, and that this isn't damaged, because obviously then we're going to have problems with the steering.
I was going to say, do all of them come with bash plates or bash trays?
Not all of them, but a majority of them now, they've all realised with how they're used in this country that it's a good idea.
It's necessary.
They don't want to have to do warranty claims,
sure.
They don't want angry customers.
Definitely.
So yeah, we've got our sump, and that's our drain plug, which is where we'll drain the oil from.
Yep.
And then we've got the oil filter. It's actually underneath another tray on this one.
Yeah.
This oil is black, which might freak out some people, but being that it's a diesel engine, you're pretty much always going to find the oil pitch black. So it's not a cause for concern on a diesel engine. And we always wear gloves when working. A lot of people go, oh, you don't need gloves. Diesel's some of the worst things for your skin. It's carcinogenic, and you do not want to wake up at 40, 50 years old with skin cancer because you were too manly to wear gloves while working.
How do you dispose of the oil? Does it get picked up? Or?
Yeah, so goes into that cube over there.
Yep.
And then we've got a company called Southern Oil, I think is their name.
Okay,
and they come and they pick up the oil. It's a 1,000-litre capacity cube at the back there. They gracefully actually pick it up for free.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There we go.
We'll grab a sump plug washer, and then I can put it back in. So always replace the sump plug washer. We have found in the past that other places might reuse it for the small price to prevent any leaking or accidents, especially out of the sump for the engine. You don't want to have an angry customer calling up saying the oil dumped out of the engine because you didn't replace a simple washer. So we always replace it. We'll give this all a wipe down. And then we've got a product called Brake Clean, which is like an alcohol. And we'll spray that down to get rid of any residue. Shout out to Worth, they make really good products. And you make sure, especially, that it doesn't end up into crevices in here. That's all the oil gone. So you can see the difference between the fresh oil and the new oil. But with diesels, even though this is golden right now, as soon as we start it up, it'll get black. Always put the cap back on when you leave the engine. Yeah. Dipsticks on this side, and they make it yellow so it stands out. I'm just going to clean it off first. And then call it a dipstick because you dip the engine oil, and then as you can see, the in between, which is minimum and maximum, is filled. better visual contrast.
Appreciate all your
No
help.
worries.
Big part of our service offering is ensuring that our customers are given a reliable, a premium, commercial, reliable vehicle, so that they're not off the road as a result of our faults. Of course, there's going to be issues with cars, warranty issues, and issues that pop up as a result of manufacturer faults. But the last thing we want is customers having an issue because of us not servicing the vehicle on time, or not changing the tyres on time, or allowing damage to go unfixed and then creating rust, which creates a whole host of other issues. So anyway, we're back at site now, so tune in for the next one.